Get out of here. Get out of here. Hey!
Some encounters in the wilderness feel wrong, long before you understand why. A woman filming alone in the forest captures a shadow moving between the trees, while deep in the Kalahari desert, campers wake up to a lion clawing at their tent before suddenly going silent outside. And when something watches you from the darkness without making a sound, how do you know whether to stay calm or run? During the early morning hours, campers in the Kalahari desert were suddenly awakened by distant lion calls. As the night continued, the sounds came closer and closer, until by dawn the animal was directly outside their tent, growling before abruptly falling silent. Moments later, it started clawing and biting at the fabric, while the campers stayed frozen inside. When they finally saw a chance to escape, they ran to their vehicle and later recorded the lion marking the tent before safely leaving the area unharmed. A trail camera captured what would later become the final known image of a man who disappeared while hunting in October 2018. The photo shows him calmly smoking, unaware it would be the last time anyone ever saw him alive. His disappearance remained unsolved for years until his remains were found in 2022 near Locust Grove. The image gives the case an eerie feeling, leaving lingering questions about what truly happened to him deep in the wilderness. While deep in the forest, a hunter spotted something disturbing near the water and started filming. Two fog-like ghostly figures appeared, floating above the surface, one drifting smoothly while another slowly formed nearby. Some viewers think the shapes may have been a weather balloon or visual effect, while others connect them to La Llorona, the spirit believed to haunt rivers and lakes. After a short moment, both figures disappeared, leaving unanswered whether the encounter was genuine or staged. While hiking through the remote Sierra de San Juan forest in Mexico, a group of friends suddenly felt that something was not right. Around 6 a.m., a horrifying scream echoed through the thick trees, sounding dangerously close. Knowing nobody else was supposed to be in the area that early, the group immediately felt fear and uneasiness. They abandoned the trail and quickly returned to safety left, questioning what or who had made the disturbing sound deep in the forest. A hunter placed a trail camera to track wildlife, and at first the footage showed nothing unusual. Later, one photo captured an unexpected figure, a person wearing a gas mask and carrying what looked like a bag or container. The image was turned over to authorities, but the individual's identity and intentions were never confirmed, leaving unanswered questions about who had been roaming the woods and for what reason. While fishing alone and filming content for his channel, a man stayed completely unaware of what was around him. Later, the footage revealed a figure partially concealed in the leaves, sitting quietly on a nearby rock and watching him. Whether it was simply another person or something more disturbing remains unknown, raising the unsettling question of why someone would stay there unnoticed, silently observing him. A trail camera unexpectedly recorded a strange figure in the forest. At first, it looked unusual enough to resemble some kind of cryptid, but a closer look suggested it might have been a hunter wearing camouflage. Even so, the figure's position and posture appeared strangely unnatural, leaving uncertainty about what was actually happening when the photo was captured. A woman living near the forest noticed her dog suddenly run away in fear from a nearby field, causing her to investigate. There, she saw a pale, humanoid figure standing completely still, moving in an unsettling manner before disappearing. Moments later, she spotted it again, partially concealed in tall grass and staring toward her. What happened afterward remains unknown, leaving an unsettling question about what was truly out in that field. While operating a drone above a wooded area, a man spotted a moose calmly moving below and kept filming. Without warning, the animal shook its head, causing its enormous antlers to fall to the ground, part of a natural seasonal cycle. Anticipating this moment, the man later followed the moose's tracks and retrieved the shed antlers shortly afterward. During a camping trip in the Arapahoe and Roosevelt National Forests west of Denver, a photograph was taken that initially appeared completely normal. Years later, a closer inspection revealed a figure standing between the trees in the background. Some people believe it may be Bigfoot, pointing to the remote and rugged landscape as a possible habitat, while others remain doubtful. What the camera truly captured in that mountain forest is still widely debated. A Reddit user posted late-night security footage from his isolated mountain home situated miles away from the nearest town. The video captures an unknown person wandering through the yard, appearing unprepared for the darkness and rough terrain. With no nearby neighbors or expected visitors, the sight felt deeply disturbing, raising questions about how the stranger ended up there and what they were searching for in such a remote location. As a hunter walked toward his car, he noticed a strange creature dragging itself from a ditch. Its unusual monkey-like features and jerky movements, unlike anything he recognized. The footage cuts off before revealing more, leaving the sighting unresolved. Some believe it was an injured or sick animal, while others think its appearance points to something unexplained. And if you saw a creature like that, would you dismiss it or question what it was? Reddit user Motor Sitter Magnet Fish was magnet fishing when he pulled up a jar containing an emotional note written by a child years earlier.
Oh, I got something on there. Oh, filled with rocks and paper. Nice polished rocks even.
You can open this one up.
Yeah, I'm gonna open this one. It don't look like urine.
Yeah, it doesn't look.
Actually, there's no liquid in it.
Oh, maybe you can read the note.
After posting the video, he was contacted by Journey and her family, who explained the jar had been placed in the river more than a decade ago as a tribute carrying deep sentimental value.
Oh, you know what? I think it's a poem. I don't think this is a spell. I just saw something about loves. Dear, oh no. Dear Daddy, I wish you can come back and stay. I wish you never died so we could have spent more time together. And now it feels like I have no one. I wish that if you were alive, I could have everybody. I feel nobody loves me. Love, Journey. Okay. Oh, that's heartbreaking.
It is devastating. Oh my gosh.
Dude, I got chills. Oh man.
They said its discovery brought back meaningful memories and appreciated that it was returned to the water. Some viewers saw the moment as proof that grief can linger across time, while others viewed it as an unexpected reunion with a lost keepsake. And if you discovered something that personal, would you keep it as part of the find or return it to where it belonged? As a hunter approached his front door, he noticed a large snake hanging from the frame, barely avoiding it because of his Ring camera. The close encounter left some questioning whether the snake was searching for shelter or hunting nearby. And if you found a predator above your doorway, would you feel comfortable returning home again? A woman entered the forest, hoping for a peaceful day alone, but faint footsteps soon made her uneasy. Her camera later captured a shadow moving between the trees.
Who's up there? Okay. Mister. Who's up there?
Seemingly following her before disappearing whenever she turned around.
Wait a minute. Whoa, look. Where's that? Oh my God. No fucking way. Dude. Dude. What? Look at him go. Sorry, I'm trying to hold still. No! Okay, no.
Feeling watched, she ran from the woods in fear. Some believe it was another person hiding nearby, while others think the shadow was something harder to explain. And if you noticed something following you that vanished each time you looked, would you stay calm or leave immediately? In 2021, a man recording in dense woods captured a strange face, peering from behind debris animal-like, with glowing eyes and unlike anything he recognized. Moments later, it disappeared, followed by a deep growl, leaving viewers divided over whether it was a misidentified animal or something far more unusual. And if your camera captured a face like that watching you, would you dismiss it or start questioning what was really hiding there? In April 2022, a hunter noticed a strange creature inside a hole, featuring long ears, large eyes, and grayish skin before fleeing in fear. Some viewers believe he recorded a real cryptid, while others think the scene may have been staged. And if you encountered something like that in the woods, would you dismiss it as a hoax or question what it truly was? While testing his GoPro at sea, a man recorded a small dark shape moving through the water behind him before it suddenly disappeared. Unsure whether it was a shark, an orca, or something smaller, he became uneasy when it never surfaced again and decided to end the trip early. Some believe it was ordinary marine life, while others think the disappearance seemed unusual. And if you watched something slip beneath the waves without returning, would you keep fishing or head back to shore? On a scorching summer day, Bryce Knoll hiked through Shawnee State Forest in Ohio, already worn out as he made his way toward a water source.
Last night I found like 3 ticks on me, and I am absolutely covered in either little tiny ticks or chiggers. They're probably chiggers. They are all over me right now. They kept me up all night. I tried washing them off, but I mean, I'm gonna have to go through and pick them off one by one, it looks like. This trail's got some nice scenic views, but you know, at this point, the way that trail looks with no switchbacks.
During the trek, he became covered in ticks and chiggers, repeatedly pulling them off while dealing with non-stop itching and very little sleep.
Taking a break here. I still got about 2 miles to go on this road. I looked down at my ankle, and I have a million bites from those little chiggers last night. You can see they're still on there. I'm probably gonna jump in the lake up here by the parking lot and try to scrape off the rest of them. No wonder it itched so bad last night. It was keeping me up all night long.
By the end of the trip, his legs were badly bitten, and he looked unusually pale after returning home, likely requiring medical attention. The experience left viewers debating whether it was just bad luck or a preventable risk. And if you were deep in the wilderness, covered in bites with miles still ahead, would you keep going or turn back before the situation worsened? A woman finds herself in a frightening situation when a bear appears on the trail while her dog moves dangerously close to it. Carrying bear spray, she steps forward to judge the threat, but chaos quickly breaks out as the dog runs around trying to avoid the animal. In the confusion, she struggles to aim the spray before the encounter escalates further. Dogs can easily trigger a bear's instinct to chase, turning seconds into a deadly situation. If her timing had been even slightly off, could this close call have ended very differently? A man walks outside to grab something from his car, not realizing he is about to experience his first bear encounter. While leaning into the vehicle, a curious young cub suddenly appears and bites his ankle, clearly hurting him while showing no fear. The man attempts to scare it away, but the cub only comes closer, forcing him to retreat back into the car as the clip suddenly ends. Young bears can be unpredictable, especially when curiosity becomes stronger than fear. But when a cub is nearby, the mother often is too, so what may have happened after the camera stopped recording? A hunter records a black bear, acting unusually aggressive, pacing and circling, rather than retreating like most black bears normally would. When the animal climbs a small hill and starts walking directly toward him, the tension quickly rises.
Get out here. Get out here. Hey, hey, I'm gonna shoot you.
Moments later, the reason becomes obvious: the bear is defending nearby cubs. Mother bears will often ignore fear and confront much larger threats to protect their young.
Hey! Knock it off!
Fortunately, the situation eventually calms down and the bears move away. But if the cubs had been nearer or the hunter had remained there longer, could this protective behavior have turned far more dangerous? A bear is recorded sitting and scratching itself after tearing through what appears to be a pile of garbage while hunters watch from inside their vehicles, believing they are safe. That feeling of safety is misleading, since a bear that large could easily damage a car if it wanted to. For several minutes, the animal seems uninterested, focused only on sniffing around and grooming itself. Then it suddenly notices the people filming and makes an unexpected bluff charge toward them. The group laughs with relief afterward, realizing how close the encounter felt. Bears often bluff as a warning instead of attacking, but if that warning had been ignored, would the situation have remained harmless? Tourists approach a huge bison grazing in Yellowstone National Park, thinking the encounter is harmless.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
The animal soon becomes irritated, and their attempts to back away only seem to raise the tension. Bison often react defensively when people move too close. Luckily, it stops and leaves, but if it charged, would anyone have escaped? Posted in September 2021, a Florida man is recorded confronting an alligator using nothing but a garbage bin. The animal initially backs away as he pushes the bin toward it, eventually directing it back into the lake before letting it go. Alligators can attack without warning, making situations like this extremely dangerous. Was this a controlled act of bravery, or a reckless decision that almost ended in disaster? Tourists scream in panic as a drunk man becomes trapped inside a lion enclosure, desperately trying to keep the predators away. As the lions move closer, he throws rocks to hold them back, turning the scene into a terrifying standoff witnessed by horrified bystanders. Lions often react aggressively when they sense threats or territorial intrusion, making the situation even more dangerous. Moments later, people above lower a rope, allowing the man to climb out and escape. But if help had not arrived in time, would this reckless mistake have ended in tragedy? Tourists record a tiger from inside their vehicle when it suddenly charges without warning. They accelerate to gain distance, but the animal keeps following them before rushing forward again.
He's not used to it. He's not used to with the vehicle.
Oh my god, he's up. Oh my god, he's gonna jump on us.
बस धीरे धीरे बढ़ाता रहो, धीरे धीरे बस रोक लो।
Tigers are powerful hunters, making encounters like this extremely dangerous. If the vehicle had not been fast enough, how differently could the situation have ended?
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.